From the basement of La Penta, this is WICR.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sportsville. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, and while ESPN seems to really only want to focus on NASCAR right now, we will get into the stuff that matters. This weekend, the 2015 NFL Scouting Combine, all over the news. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota broke down a lot of the competition between the two of them last week. I think we started off the show on Monday talking about it, and we really ended it off on Friday talking about it. Now we have a little bit more substance to go over. Now, like I said before on Friday, you can't really take a ton of stock out of what happens in the scouting combine. Those throws don't really mean much. The speed test and the vertical jump, a little bit. It's an indication of athleticism. But let's be honest, we really know what these two guys are from watching them through their college careers. We know what they can do on the football field, what we were worried about translating to the NFL. We know what these guys have, and that really didn't change much in my mind. But I think the big thing that you wanted to see is what are NFL people thinking about them when they met with them, especially in meetings to kind of go over NFL verbiage and kind of how they would handle an NFL-style offense and learning and things of that nature. And it seems like both guys really blew everybody away. And Jameis is really the one that I'd say we're probably more concerned about. Marcus, there's really no issues off the field with him. There's no worries that he's going to be disciplined and put in the work. He's got the perception right now, and I think it's rightfully so, and it's rightfully been earned, that he's a film junkie. He has incredible passion for the game. I'm not worried for 1 second that Marcus Mariota is not going to put in the work and do whatever it takes to translate his game to the next level and take full command of an NFL offense, and I think that's what really is helping people buy into Marcus Mariota. Now, his numbers were very good. We know what he is. He is a extremely athletic quarterback who can really do anything you want him to. He could throw the football. He has incredible speed to make plays in the pocket. He has incredible awareness on the football field and this ability to just understand what the defense is giving him. But the test did show that his 40-yard dash was a 4.52, the second highest since RG3, and so we kind of expected something like that. Now, there's some people who think that it looks like he's bulking up a little bit and he's going to lose a little bit of speed, which is smart because I'm not going to be worried. If he's going to have to make a play with his speed, I think sacrificing a little bit of strength is not going to be a big detriment to him. It's really something he probably has to do. The vertical jump, again, a 36, very impressive. The broad jump, 10-1. These numbers just show you that the guy is an outstanding, transcendent athlete, and we've always known that about Marcus Mariota. And in the throwing department, 13 of 15. Now, again, I think there were some people who the knock coming out of him for college was he doesn't make a lot of NFL throws, but I really never understand what people even get that from. I remember listening to Mike Francesa, and he said in the Rose Bowl, Marcus Mariota only made 2 NFL throws. Well, who even knows what that means? Honestly, Marcus Mariota has shown time and time again throwing the ball through tight windows wasn't always his thing. But there were times where when he had to, it was there. I have no questions about his arm strength or his ability to get the ball down the field. Getting the ball into tight windows is just going to be about anticipation with his receiver, and I think that's something that he'll work on and he'll figure out. But it's not something that is a cause for concern right now because he didn't do it a lot at Oregon, because it's more about anticipation, working with your receivers. It's an NFL next level thing, which I think he will have to figure out, and he will figure out with the coaching staff around him. But Marcus Mariota did very well in all departments, and same thing with Jameis Winston. Now, Friday we started off where there was a little bit of cause for concern in his shoulder, but I think Jameis seemed pretty confident that that wasn't an issue, and it didn't seem to really affect him throwing the football in his combine day, which, again, we knew. I knew the first game I saw Jameis Winston, the first game he ever played against Pittsburgh last year. When you just watched him for the first time, you just your jaw dropped. This kid is not a true freshman. He's a redshirt freshman, and he throws the ball better than half the guys right now in college football. I mean, his ability to throw the football his first game against Pittsburgh was incredible. You could just see right away how effectively he could throw the football. He could make any throw on the football field, down the field. I mean, it was incredible to watch. And then the more and more you watched him his freshman season, you just knew that this kid was special. He had just an uncanny ability to throw the football effectively, accurately. I've never had any questions at all, and I've said it many times about his ability to succeed because of his skill set. He has every skill it takes to translate to the NFL. He's big. He's just has a cannon of an arm. He throws the ball accurately. He's going to be hard to bring down. Now, the athleticism is not anything that's going to shock you. I mean, that was expected. The 40-yard dash, 4.97, and then the vertical jump, 28.5. Again, not a huge indication of athleticism, but when you draft Jameis Winston, you're not drafting him because you're really looking for an athletic type guy who's going to run all the time. You know what he is. He's going to be a guy who's going to stand firm in the pocket, and he is going to be hard to bring down. And the thing that you really wanted to see was his football acumen. Can he really understand NFL verbiage? Can he really pick apart a defense? Because we saw this year in college, he had a lot of trouble with that. He 18 interceptions, very turnover heavy this year with that Florida State offense. And part of it was he didn't get a ton of production out of the running game. But still, you would have still liked to see him cut down on the turnovers a little bit. But it seems like NFL GMs and scouts, all NFL people, are not worried about it. Again, with both guys, you keep hearing, blew them away with their ability to understand NFL concepts and schemes and verbiage. Both guys. And, I mean, Jameis, it's kind of tricky because the NFL, the off-the-field stuff, is got to be concerning for you. I've said all along I would not touch him just because of the off-the-field stuff. Bad decisions off the field. How am I going to trust you to make good decisions on the field? But the talent is just what's going to make people just you've got to roll the dice if you don't have a quarterback because the upside is too high. It really is. I mean, we keep hearing people say they haven't seen a better prospect since Andrew Luck. Now, Andrew Luck is just a transcendent. He's one of those guys who comes along every now and then. John Elway, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, in that type of category. And I don't know if Jameis is there. I mean, he's phenomenal. He has so many good things to like about him. But that's a pretty heck of a special group you have right there. But I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a gamble. I think both guys have incredibly high rewards, and there's a little bit of risk involved with both guys. Jameis is more off-the-field issues, and I think that Marcus is more of, will his game translate to the NFL? But I think both guys are showing you that it's not that they have an ability to understand concepts, which is very important right away because we've seen a lot of guys really struggle coming into the NFL, and their biggest struggles linked to understanding NFL verbiage, understanding the game, taking full command of a huddle. But it seems like both these guys are kind of ahead of the game already because they are really showing they understand how concepts work in the NFL, and that's going to really help them jump right in. It's really more about cleaning up mechanics, things like that. I don't know. I mean, it seems like everybody's kind of split on who's going to take number one. Tampa Bay is taking a quarterback. There's no question about that. It's just going to come down to which guy do you take. Lovie Smith, I mean, at first it seemed like initial reports were he liked Jameis Winston. Now the last couple reports were saying he prefers Marcus Mariota. And it all depends on what offense you want to run. I mean, both guys are different. Both guys are going to run an offense differently. And you've got to just kind of commit. What kind of offense do I want to run? What kind of personnel do I have that would allow this quarterback to thrive? Now, I think Marcus or Jameis would really do well with Tampa Bay, either guy, because they have good personnel. They really do. I mean, you have Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. Not a bad 1-2 wide receiver punch for a guy like that coming into the league. Will definitely help them because Even Andrew Luck, we've seen in Indianapolis, coming into the league, he had no weapons. I mean, Reggie Wayne was about all that he had, and they've kind of developed T.Y. Hilton, but there's just not a lot of talent he has there to help him, and he's taken them to the AFC Championship game, which is just amazing, incredible, but you look at a team that's going to draft them, and Tampa Bay is not a bad spot because of the offensive talent that they have there. Tennessee, it seems like, is not leaning towards taking a quarterback, which I think is good. I think Wisenhunt still likes Mettenberger, is not ready to give up on him, and there's just not a ton of offensive talent there to work with, which is good for both of these guys. We don't think Oakland's going to touch them. We don't think Jacksonville is going to touch them. What about the Jets? What are the Jets going to do? That is an interesting one. Jameis or Marcus, either one of them is going to go with one, so you'd had to think if one of them isn't taken, the other one will most likely fall to the Jets. And I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's very, very 50-50 right now. Whoever goes number one, either Jameis or Marcus, whichever one the Jets take. I mean, again, I think Jameis would probably be a better fit with the Jets just because Marcus is going to require a lot more tactic drawing up and really building an offense around him. I think that you're going to have to do a lot more to kind of make his game translate to the NFL. Jameis, not as much. I think he's kind of just a bull. I mean, he's a guy, as long as there's no problems off the field, he's going to be fine on the field. Just his what he can do from a physical standpoint, how he can deliver the ball down the field. Their offensive line is not bad, so that will be very interesting to see in itself. But I think at the end of the day, the more and more we watch these guys, we really know what we are getting. It's just really how will they continue to develop. Can Jameis alleviate those off-the-field problems? Because, again, for me, it's a little bit too much of a gamble. I just wouldn't trust it. But a lot of people, the talent is there, and it's too much to pass up. But I'm sure we will have many more conversations about this rolling forward. It is very exciting because it's definitely a good thing to discuss because the last couple seasons has not been the greatest bringing in quarterbacks, especially going back to the Geno Smith, E.J. Manuel draft. Last year was a little bit better, but not from a monumental standpoint. This year is very, very promising. Even Brett Hundley, who we really don't talk about a lot, is a very solid option for a third good quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of people who think he could either be taken early second round or towards the later half of the first round. Even a team like Cleveland, if Marcus Mariota or James are gone, might take a gamble on him, and he's a very good quarterback too. But that will do it for this segment. We will be back talking tons of NFL draft, NFL, everything with these two quarterbacks. Very exciting time to be a football fan. But that is going to do it. Everyone, stay with us, and we will be back later in the day.